Over the last few years, I've helped dozens of coaches over 30 build profitable coaching practices. And what I notice is the wealth of their experience often causes them to overlook the power of a well-defined niche. This leads them to picking the wrong niche, making them struggle and get caught in this cycle of constantly reinventing the wheel. Or worse still, they're stuck trying to find a niche at all, leaving them on this constant hamster wheel of trying to find clients that they can meaningfully serve and drastically limiting the potential of their coaching business. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how you can easily find the niche that's a perfect fit for you in 3 different ways, what niches to avoid so you can have a profitable coaching practice, and what to do if you pick the wrong niche and need to pivot or change it later. So let's get into it. So let's start off with method number 1. You've actually been getting hints about this method the whole time. From your friends, your family, your colleagues, they keep dropping hints. But because you're not aware of its value, you just completely blank out on it. What is the one thing people always come to you for? What is something that you are the go-to for person in your friend circle or your work circle? This could be advice, a skill, or even a way of solving problems that feels like second nature to you, but is a mystery to everyone else. This method works because demand already exists. People are literally telling you that there's value in it and value in your ability to deliver. Now, how can you apply this? Pay attention to what questions you're being asked frequently. Notice what problems others think that you can solve for them. Look through your DMs, your emails, your texts, your WhatsApp conversations with your friends and family. Even look through previous job experience. And soon you will start seeing patterns. You will start seeing commonality. And if you get really stuck, fire a bunch of them into GPT and ask it to identify the pattern for you. Now, I like this method. It's a great first start and it's a great way to demonstrate value, but it's not ideal for everyone because sometimes what you're really great at, you actually don't enjoy. You hate it. I know when I was working in Fortune 100s, I was a great project manager, but now it drives me insane, which is why we need other methods to find something that is the overlap of skill and passion. That being said, let's move on to method 2. Another way to uncover your niche is extremely and devastatingly simple. Instead of looking externally, look internally. What feels very natural, easy, and like a flow state to you, but it seems very hard for others. What I mean by this is, I have a friend who is fantastic at budgeting. Fantastic, incredible. They do multi-layered budget workbooks all the time, every year. The concept drives them insane, but they are fantastic at what they do. And you see, this friend of mine makes the exact same mistake that most coaches do. They feel like if it's easy for them, it must be easy for everyone, and there's no inherent value in it. And you could not be more wrong. This is actually where the hidden gold mine is. Think about it. What do you love doing so much that the time just flies straight past? And yes, I know, coaching, me too, but think more granular than that. What aspect of coaching, what element of coaching, where can you lean all in on something? And that piece of the puzzle just flies straight past you time-wise. What problems do others struggle with that you seem to solve almost effortlessly without even breaking a sweat? And what's a topic you can talk about for hours and hours without getting bored? For me, that's business. It's neuroscience. It's psychology. I love it. And it drives my wife nuts. She cannot stand it. But there's going to be elements like that for you too. Now, this method works really, really well for a lot of people. And the reason for that is that it's sustainable. A niche built on trends will never last. It will always feel like a 9-to-5 job. You'll constantly be reinventing the wheel. It's horrible. But a niche built on your passions and your strengths and the things that really light you up and you go full nerd mode on, that is incredibly sustainable for the long term. Here's how to apply this. I need you to make 3 lists. What you can do, what you love to do, and what feels absolutely effortless to do. The overlap or the intersection of these 3 lists is an ideal niche for you. Some people struggle with this because we're all human. We all dismiss our own strengths. We all dismiss our capabilities. We just don't add value to them. We think if it's easy for me, it's easy for everyone. It is simply not true though. But if you are stuck in this camp, we're going to move on to method 3 right now. Now, the last method is my personal favorite. It is one that is unique to you and it is about your unique lens on the world. When you are past 30, 35, and this only gets worse or better with age, you have a unique lens with which you see everything. It is not skills, it is not expertise, it is insights. You have seen what works in the world and what doesn't. You have noticed patterns in your career, patterns in your relationships, and you've noticed how people navigate certain challenges, problems, and issues, as well as how you do too. An example is this. I had a previous client who realized her niche when other coaches kept asking her how she was finding clients and leads without using social media at all. She wasn't just coaching. She had built a method for something that others desired highly and they were really struggling with. And she thought it was just obvious. Now, here's how you can apply this one. Ask yourself, what obvious solutions do I see that others clearly do not? And the last thing is, what is a unique point of view that you possess that challenges how things are typically done in the industry? This one is insanely powerful. Often we dismiss it. What do I know, right? But the answer is, that's what you know. You're probably right. This works because thought leadership, or any real leadership, isn't about regurgitating what's already out in the industry. It's about bringing a fresh perspective that delivers results to new audiences. If you can't find success in the first method or the second method, I encourage you to go extremely deep on this one. Lean into what makes you, you, and you will never have competition. Now that you have a list of potential niches, we need to make sure that you pick one that is going to make your business actually profitable. Now, I hear you. How can I ensure I pick the right one? Oh my God, what if I pick the wrong one? What if I've already picked one and I'm way too far gone to change it back? I hear you. I totally hear you. But I'm going to give you some niches to avoid at all costs. And then I'm going to try and give you some examples of some niches so that you know that you're on the right track. Sound good? All right. First one, anything super broad, life coaching, self-development. This is just a failure to actually commit to a niche, dressed up in a nice way. I'm sorry, but it is. If you try and serve everyone, you're going to serve no one. You'll spend months trying to market this crap without getting any meaningful hits. You'll see this show up for you as an absence of leads. Anything super saturated. Think leadership coaching, confidence coaching, mindset coaching. These labels are super, super saturated. They offer no unique angle and are very, very vague. And because they're vague, you're going to be in a really high competition race to the bottom. You'll see this as a lack of ability to convert those leads into real clients. Anything trend-based. Think authenticity coaching, spiritual healing coaching, holistic success coaching. You know what I'm talking about. And if I'm talking to you, I apologize if this is offensive, but we're going to get you a result. These are not clear to your audience. They're just not. If they have to Google it, you're wrong. Chances are they found you through a short-lived buzz in the market or some fancy trending buzzword. You cannot position yourself as a specialist, and the client therefore can't understand the value of working with you. Now, you'll see this as peaky and trough sales or super spiky attention rates, right? There'll be no normalization. And the last one is anything that doesn't have a clear market need or product problem fit. Think of happiness coaching or sovereignty coaching or hell, even wellness coaching. These are not things that people place a high initial value on. You will help them learn to value them through progress and time with you. But up front, they don't value it. They don't know they need that. And if they don't know they need that, they never seek it out or value it in the first place. You'll see this, or this will manifest as a lot of price resistance. Now, here are some examples of highly profitable or at least meaningfully profitable niches. Highly specific. The more specific it is, the more someone will feel like you are a specialist in it. Ergo, they trust you. There is a clear problem solution fit for an existing market. The market may be already underserved. And by this, I mean something like people go for leadership. What about introverted leaders? What about introverted leaders in tech? It's something you can attach a measurable outcome to. You need to think of how you can convey your value in a measurable way that is relevant to that niche. Is it client lead flow? Is it time back with their family? Is it weight loss? What does it look like? What is that measurable outcome? If you can't attach a measurable outcome or think of a way to do so, it's a miss because they will not give value to it. Now, the last question that remains unanswered. Should I choose a niche that pays well or that I'm passionate about? And I'm sorry, but when you're over 30, the answer is both. Our past experiences provide a lens with which we can understand profitability and personal fulfillment. It's not just about making money. It is about building legacy, about sharing wisdom, and living authentically. You must chase both. There will be a sweet spot for you, I promise you. Now, what happens if you pick the wrong niche? Well, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is you may have wasted a little bit of time. That's okay. You've got more. And the good news is it doesn't fucking matter. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. You could change your niche dozens of times before finding that perfect sweet spot that is actually the right overlap of everything you need. I did early on. I know dozens of coaches that have as well. It's okay. The more important thing is that you're not stuck in analysis paralysis trying to get the perfect one before you take any forward action. And if you are really, really, really worried about picking the right one, do what I call date before you marry. Very simply, So 5 clients in that niche or your prospective niche powerfully, and then ask yourself a couple of simple questions. Did I enjoy this experience? Did I drive transformation? And did that feel effortless? If the answer is no to any of those, go back to the drawing board, try again. If the answer is yes to all 3 of those, congratulations, you found your new home. Now, if you're over 30, you bring a level of maturity and insight that younger coaches simply cannot match. They simply cannot challenge. That experience is your competitive edge when it comes to picking a niche that is not only profitable, but aligns with your true calling. So now you have your niche figured out, you're at least in the process of it. But that doesn't mean your coaching business will suddenly be profitable. You have to have a proper pricing structure as well. And spoiler, hourly isn't it? So watch this next video if you want to know why hourly pricing is probably killing your business.